We were talking about like day to day. We talked about planning your day and talking about, hey, look, things are going to come up. It can get you can get, you're going to have to deal with them, but you still got that plan. You can get back to it and you can, ensure you're being productive and getting things actually done and moving the needle. One of the things that I found that has been very helpful, and I'm really curious to your thoughts on this, is I actually, a long time ago, I sat down and I said, okay, I was running a business, I had a ton of employees, and like all the time, things were getting put on my calendar, And so like I'd start off with, a plan for the day or the week even, and all of a sudden, it would all change because all these meetings and this and that would happen. So I said, I got to take back control of this. And so what I did is I blocked out all these times on my calendar for literally like lunch is blocked. Like these different things are all blocked. Those specific times for me to be productive are blocked. So all that's left, okay, is the only things I would allow people to book on my calendar. And so I've kept that, and running other businesses and stuff now over the years, and have found that it works really, really well. You train people when you're available for them instead of them just like taking the time just because it's open, right? Yeah. I think that relates really well to most people nowadays because we do a lot with our calendars. Most everybody has a calendar in their business, right? So I'd love to hear your thoughts on like time blocking like that and like other little tips to be productive on a daily basis.
Yeah, I coupled two different ways to do time blocking. So one is probably the traditional of every Monday looks the same, it's blocked out, and Tuesdays are available for appointments and all of that. But the second way actually works with it. And that is that we take our daily plan, and step number 5 of how I teach how to plan your day is to actually schedule the tasks on your calendar. And I call them buckets. So for you, Dave, maybe you have a bucket about podcasting or you have a marketing bucket. And when you were to plan your week, for me, it would look like record episode 342, record intro, outro for 350, right? I am filling it up with specific tasks, but the bucket, the time slot is held because those are high value activities. There's only a few things that I do in my business, and those times are blocked out on my calendar as a priority, and then everything else gets filled in and worked in around it. And so I think it's a very good way of looking at our time, because if we keep letting everybody else control our time and schedule, there is never any time except for on the outskirts. So generally, if they are not blocking time out and they're in meetings and calls all day, then the work is being done early in the morning, on weekends and evenings. And that's the thing that's going to lead to burnout and is not sustainable. And so this is one of those strategies to ensure there's enough focused work time during the week. Actually, speaking of that, Dave, sometimes I hear, even if I don't have meetings, I'd rather work on a Saturday and come into the office because nobody's there and I can focus. And so when I hear those types of things, it's not necessarily always about time constraints, but maybe, again, going back to environmental. And so the goal would be, how do you create that, whether it's blocking off certain time on your calendar, where you're doing your work, to bring that into the container of your own ideal week. Instead of doing it out of necessity that leads to work-life imbalances, burnout, exhaustion, resentment. Right. It's a whole list of things when we're not proactively protecting our calendar.
No, that again, I think it's these are little things that I've learned over the years and picked up from like others talking like yourself on the podcast and stuff. And, I think, again, you got to do it in your own way, but I think as an overarching thing, you have to take back control of your time as an entrepreneur and, as a business owner, because you really need to focus and maximize the time that you have and not let others, take it away for things that probably aren't that important in the end. Right. So I think that's just a key theme to take away. Any other strategies to help reclaim time on a daily basis?